What if the greatest untold story of the Roman Empire isn't about emperors or conquests, but about the enslaved who fought for their freedom and nearly brought Rome to its knees? It's a tale of blood, courage, and impossible defiance. A moment when the world's mightiest empire trembled, not before kings or gods, but before men it had shackled in chains. This is the true story of Spartacus, the slave who rose from the sands of the arena to challenge Rome itself, and the rebellion that changed history forever.
Long before he became a symbol of freedom, Spartacus was simply another man lost in Rome's vast machinery of slavery. Born in Thrace, a rugged land north of Greece, he likely served as a soldier before being captured by Roman forces. The Romans admired Thracians for their strength, but feared their defiance, so they chained them. Spartacus was sold into the brutal world of gladiator training, a place where men fought not for honor or war, but for spectacle. In the city of Capua, inside the infamous school of Lentulus Batiatus, Spartacus was forged in pain. Every lash, every drop of blood taught him one thing: Rome could be beaten. In the year 73 BCE, deep inside the gladiator school of Capua, whispers began to spread. Men beaten, broken, and forced to kill for Roman entertainment began to dream of something unthinkable: escape. Among them stood Spartacus, a man of quiet strength and fierce intellect. He saw what others feared to imagine, that even the mightiest empire could bleed. The plan was desperate. 70 men against armed guards, walls, and the wrath of Rome itself. But courage is contagious. And one night, with stolen kitchen knives and makeshift weapons, they struck. The revolt began not in the arena, but in the kitchens. As guards patrolled the corridors, the gladiators ambushed them. Swift, silent, furious. The alarm spread too late. Spartacus and his brothers broke free, seizing wagons of weapons meant for Roman soldiers. By dawn, the impossible had happened. The slaves were gone. The bloodied sand of Capua whispered a new word Rome had not heard in generations: rebellion. They fled to Mount Vesuvius, the sleeping giant that loomed over the land, as if fate itself watched them. Here they would rest, regroup, and for the first time, breathe free air. But Rome was already coming for them. High upon the slopes of Mount Vesuvius, Spartacus and his men waited. They had no armor, no formal army, and no allies, only courage, hunger, and the will to stay free. Rome, in its arrogance, sent a small force, a few thousand poorly prepared soldiers, believing this would be an easy victory. They had crushed slave uprisings before. Why should this one be any different? But Spartacus was no ordinary rebel. Using the mountain's steep terrain, Spartacus devised a trap that would humiliate Rome. When Roman troops blocked the main path, Spartacus ordered his men to weave ropes and ladders from wild vines, lowering themselves down the cliffs in darkness. They emerged behind the Roman camp and struck like thunder. At dawn, the Roman commander awoke to chaos. His men surrounded and slaughtered by those they called slaves. The victory was total. The weapons of the fallen legionaries armed the rebels. For the first time, slaves wielded Roman steel. Word spread like wildfire across fields, towns, and farms that Spartacus had defied the impossible. Thousands of slaves fled their masters and joined him. Shepherds, farmers, gladiators, all united by one dream: freedom. By the end of that year, Spartacus commanded over 30,000 men. Rome had sent a warning. Spartacus sent it back, drenched in the pride of the free. The rebellion had become a war. By the spring of 72 BCE, Italy burned with rebellion. From the hills of Campania to the fields of Lucania, the name Spartacus spread like wildfire, whispered by slaves, cursed by masters, and feared by senators. What began with 70 men now swelled into tens of thousands, men and women, young and old, armed with stolen Roman blades and the hunger for liberty. Spartacus's camp became a city, alive with hope, strategy, and the noise of preparation. Yet, within this unity, there was chaos. Not all leaders agreed on what freedom meant. Two of Spartacus's allies, Crixus and Oneomaus, demanded direct vengeance. They wanted to march straight to Rome and burn it to the ground. But Spartacus hesitated. He knew the city's walls and legions would crush them if they acted too soon. His goal was different: to lead his people north, across the Alps, to freedom beyond Roman reach. But unity is fragile when born of desperation. As Spartacus marched north, Rome finally awoke from its arrogance. The Senate, shamed by defeats, sent both consuls of the Republic, each commanding a full Roman army, to crush the rebellion once and for all. But what followed would be one of the most humiliating defeats in Roman history. On the plains near Mutina, Spartacus unleashed a masterstroke. He divided his forces, drawing one Roman army into a trap, then struck its flank with full fury. The consular armies, veterans of decades of conquest, were annihilated by men they once called slaves. For the first time in generations, Rome trembled. Senators whispered that Spartacus might soon march on the capital itself. Victory after victory followed. Entire Roman legions were destroyed, their weapons taken, their pride shattered. But with triumph came a fatal temptation. The path to freedom was open. The Alps were near, yet Spartacus turned back. Why? No one truly knows. Perhaps he hoped to free more slaves, or perhaps he had begun to believe he could end Rome itself. By late 72 BCE, the tide of rebellion began to shift. Spartacus's victories had made him a legend, But legends cannot feed armies. Tens of thousands of followers needed food, weapons, and rest. Supplies ran thin, and discipline began to crumble. Rome saw its chance. The Senate turned to a man both feared and hated, Marcus Licinius Crassus. A ruthless general and the richest man in Rome, Crassus had everything to gain by crushing the slave rebellion. He raised 6 fresh legions, more than 40,000 soldiers, and imposed brutal discipline. When one of his own legions fled in battle, Crassus executed every 10th man, a punishment called decimation. The message was clear. Rome would no longer underestimate Spartacus. As Crassus marched south, Spartacus realized his army was not one, but many. Crixus had broken away, leading thousands of Gauls to their deaths against Roman forces. Spartacus mourned his friend, but the war demanded no tears. He turned his army south, perhaps hoping to cross to Sicily, to spark yet another rebellion there. But fate was cruel. Crassus's forces built massive fortifications, a wall stretching across the Italian peninsula, trapping Spartacus and his followers in the south. The rebels tried to break through, hungry, desperate, and surrounded. And when they finally did, Rome's wrath followed close behind. Spring, 71 BCE. On the plains of Lucania, 2 great forces stared across the field. One, the army of Marcus Crassus, disciplined and vast. The other, a weary band of men and women who had already defied death 100 times. At their head stood Spartacus. He knew this would be the end, but it would not be Rome's victory. It would be freedom's final roar. Crassus's legions advanced in perfect formation, shields locked, the thunder of their march shaking the earth. Spartacus rallied his people. No grand speeches, no promises, only a single truth. They would die as free men. He mounted his horse and drove straight for Crassus himself. The clash was brutal, merciless, and drenched in blood. The rebels fought with nothing left to lose, outnumbered but unstoppable in spirit. In the chaos, Spartacus fought his way through the Roman ranks, killing 2 centurions, cutting through shields and spears. But when his horse was slain beneath him, he rose again, fighting on foot until he vanished beneath the storm of steel. No one ever found his body. When the dust settled, tens of thousands of rebels lay dead. Rome had won, but at a cost it would never forget. Crassus ordered 6,000 survivors crucified along the Appian Way, a line of suffering stretching for miles. It was meant as a warning, but it became a monument to courage. Rome celebrated its victory. The Senate declared the rebellion over. The roads lined with crucified bodies, a warning written in blood. But power is blind to legacy. For while Spartacus's body was lost to the battlefield, his name survived every emperor, every century, every empire that followed. He had shown the world something no army, no senate, no Caesar could destroy, that even the lowest born could defy destiny. In the centuries that followed, his story became a whisper of freedom, carried by poets, philosophers, and dreamers. To Rome, he was a criminal. To history, he became something far greater, a symbol of resistance. Every time a people rose against tyranny, his name returned: Spartacus.
From the dust of the arena to the fields of rebellion, Spartacus became more than a man. He became a question, a challenge, echoing through time. What would you do for freedom? History is written by the victors, but remembered by those who dared to fight them. If Spartacus's story moved you, remember, countless others still wait to be told. Join us next time as we uncover another forgotten chapter of our past, one that history tried to bury.